Pentagon also announced a significant package of air defense interceptors valued at approximately $2.2 billion for Ukraine.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin informed the besieged ally nation that substantial security assistance was in progress.
A plan to stage a coup against Bolivia's president was not what General Tomas Peña y Lillo expected when he entered the military headquarters in La Paz on June 26th.
It was a highly anticipated meeting, so he hurried over to find Zúñiga.
Tunisia's increasingly authoritarian leader has scheduled the next presidential election for October without stating whether he will seek a second term after 5 tumultuous years leading the North African nation once seen as a model of democracy for the Arab world.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guests and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
I just don't know with all these buttons today. Pushing my buttons. Pushing my buttons. And hot. Yeah, push my button.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
So funny, you make me laugh. I'm sorry about that. And I won't bring it up again. You know, I love my coffee. Me and coffee got a thing going on. Good morning, you unappreciative world. You don't appreciate my insanity. That's the problem. Anyway, good morning. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, in this neighborhood. But if you're somewhere up in like Ron's neck of the woods, I don't know, Ron's neck of the woods, Pennsylvania up into western New York there, remnants of Beryl are promising to bring big tornadoes. And so bear down. Get in the basement. I don't know. Hide. That's what you should do. I get up every morning and I say, good things are going to happen today. And then I say, you're a fucking liar. But I try to convince myself that no. Like Terrence Howard, I try to convince myself that 1 times 1 equals 100,000 or something. Something, I don't know. What I'm trying to say, bad math. But I try to tell myself that today's going to be a good day. I do tell myself today's going to be a good day and that good things are going to happen today. And then 5 feet from the bed, a bad thing happens. And then more bad things happen and more bad things happen. Do you ever stop to consider all these awful things that happen to you because of your mindset? You know what I mean? Not awful things. Unpleasant things. So what I'm getting to is Chris Monty is scheduled to be the guest today, but Chris is sick and he's not going to make it. So we have 2 hours to kill and nobody to bust balls about a fictional bet they might have made to me where they now owe me a car. So I have nobody to say that to. I could say that to like AJ Benza, but he won't believe me because he knows I'm bullshitting at that point. So I'm not going to be able to bust anybody's balls today. And all we have is this crazy world full of nuts news, and I'm sick of the talk about it. People are still talking about a debate that happened almost 2 full weeks ago. Tomorrow will be 2 full weeks ago. And as if their opinion about what Joe Biden should do or what Donald Trump should do or what you should do matters. And it's okay. Listen, you got to vent. You want to say it one time, but these people on fucking social media all day and all night with the same opinion over and over again, stamping their feet like a toddler as if anybody gives a fuck what you think. Nobody gives a fuck what I think. Nobody gives a fuck what you think. You're not going to make a difference in this world. You're just as insignificant as Terrence Howard. Why am I harping on Terrence Howard? Because that is another thing. People just, all these scientists on YouTube feel like they have to rebut Terrence Howard, Joe Rogan stuff in terms that are just over the top, ridiculous, and stupid. And Professor Dave takes apart Eric Weinstein's ridiculous attempt at just trying to play Mr. Nice Guy rather than spell it out for Terrence in the ridiculousness of 1 times 1, which is the bedrock of his insanity. 1 times 1 equals 2. You can explain that in very simple language. I think we've done that here enough times. What times means, multiplication times, it literally means time. So if you have one thing one time, you have one thing. It's very simple to prove. You can do it with any object. You can do it with fingers. If you have one time, how many fingers do you have? 2. No. Well, I actually have 10. Uh-oh. Now what? But all these highly credentialed physicists, mathematicians are putting out hour-long videos trying to explain in very ridiculous terms where Terrence went astray. And the fact is, and this is Terrence Howard is a symbolic, iconic almost representation of people in the world today. Insignificance, invisibility. Nobody's hearing that I'm saying Joe Biden must drop out over and over and over and over and over and over again. I feel invisible. I need to be special. How can I be special? Just imagine I'm special. Imagine I have this Einstein brain with no education and good memory for words because I'm an actor. So I'm used to memorizing scripts and saying words. And now I can prove to the world my genius. Except you can't because your genius is based on a false premise. This is where we're at. So all the Terrence Howard stuff has got me a little like, why are you bothering? What really needs to happen with compassion and for this one individual is he needs to be urged to get help, professional mental health help, be institutionalized if necessary. And then we need to spread that to the rest of the planet because we all need to be fucking institutionalized because we've all lost our fucking minds. So good things are going to happen today. See? You see what I'm talking about with mental illness? Yesterday, a good thing happened or a good thing didn't happen. I don't know. I told myself a good thing would happen. And then as soon as the program ended yesterday, I got a notification from YouTube that one times one, which is one episode of this program, was deemed not appropriate for people under the age of 18. 1 times one of these episodes is not. If you've listened to this program, I think this is 668 or something of this officially, probably about 710, but 668 of these episodes still on YouTube. And all 668, including this one, is not appropriate for people under 18. But let's be clear here. Nobody under 18 wants to see this. It's not like they're going to sneak past their parents to watch this program. Nobody, if they accidentally stumbled on to this program, they'd be like, "What the fuck is this? I got to get at." It's not Pornhub. It's a stupid old man talking about insanity. You think an 18-year-old wants to hang around and watch this stuff? For what? Are they masochists? Anyway, why not just show me how to block all 18-year-olds and under, or 17-year-old and under, whatever, anybody under the age of 18 from viewing anything on my dopey channel, because none of it is inappropriate. Now, what's inappropriate? Episode, I think it was 600 and I forget, 653. The last one with Jackie Martling. I have not they don't give you specifics on what rule you broke or what line you said that might have broken. Again, one times one episode of 700 episodes, which are all vulgar, ridiculous, very bawdy. Ooh, look at me. I'm like from the 1850s or something. Bawdy, vulgar. I'm out of adjectives for disgusting commentary about glory holes and whatever. Glory holes is Ron's thing. He's kind of obsessed with that or something. And lemonade stands. The point I'm making is, why one? Why 1 times 1? And what exactly did I do wrong? And I have not. Listen, I don't even want to watch these fucking things. I don't want to go back and watch 2 hours or 2.5 hours to figure out what the hell tweaked the algorithm a little bit that it said, oh, well, not a content strike. It's not a channel strike. It's just we've made that one episode invisible to people under 18. I don't know how they do that. I've never had my age checked when I go to YouTube. Nobody, are you over 18? Way over 18. Anyway, good things are going to happen today. It's a good day. Good things are going to happen. Just keep telling yourself that. Anyway, we're going to say hello to the guys are waiting, and they're like, well, I thought Chris Monty was going to be here. Now I got to deal with AJ Benza and his coffee, Mind Dog Coffee, get your blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, you know what to do? If I were you, I would go to Daily High Club and buy everything on the site. Just buy, or if you don't want anything that they have to sell, just send me money and you'll feel better. Because today is going to be a good day. Good things are going to happen today.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
I want to get this party started now. Who's coughing? Put AJ Benza over here. We have the fabulous, or not so fabulous, is still angry Stephen Sitcom Ortiz, who was just like, I don't want any more wheelchair people on this show. And then we have Ron Kane, who's bracing in his basement for a glory hole tornado. And fabulous AJ Benza is with us. Good morning, AJ Benza.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Today is National Kitten Day, so stop at MindDog TV for all of your purry friends' needs.
Eat some pussy.
And grab something for your pussy while you're at it. MindDogTV.com. Enjoy the suffering.
Wow. I didn't know it was that day. Well, see, now, this is inappropriate for people under the age of 64, actually.
You know what's inappropriate is when you come out here with your non-glory hole agenda and try and hold it against us.
It's an anti-glory hole agenda. It's not a non. I understand that glory holes exist. I'm just against them. And
Say no to nepotism.
Yeah, we are putting out Project Glory Hole 2025. It's a 9-word book authored by 150 people.
It's going to get messy.
Yeah. What are you eating, AJ Benza? Madonna? You're eating Madonna, aren't you?
Have you guys, in your youth, have any of you ever tried chewing tobacco?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, because I grew up in Southern Alabama and I was a fucking redneck. Why else wouldn't I?
It could have been a lifestyle choice, not a genetic defect. I don't know.
What are we trying? I'm my hearing.
No, I asked if you guys had ever tried chewing tobacco.
Yeah, I did when I was a kid, like in baseball. When I was like probably about 10 or 11, I tried it. I ended up lasting about 8 minutes before puking my brains out. I didn't know you weren't supposed to swallow the shit.
I use nicotine pouches now, which is you use it like tobacco.
You said nicotine pouches?
Yeah, like a Zen type thing.
Yeah, it just doesn't make it look like you have cum all in your teeth. It looks like you're just sucking on balls.
No.
Okay.
Given what Ron just said.
Coming from the guy that vapes, looking like you're puffing on a robo dick.
Typical conversation that we have on this program. Can you imagine what they found in the most recent Jackie episode that said, "Oh well, we can't let kids."
They probably found Jackie. They probably found Jackie. That's what happened. Because sometimes it's not what you say; it's who says it and how they say it. And I'm pretty sure that Jackie probably just said something really innocuous, but he said it in such a way that it made it sound like he needed to be banned from that episode.
I think this is kind of the consensus: is it's Jackie's fault.
Was it the weed? Because I did show a picture of his weed when we were talking, but we talk about weed. I don't know.
Because you showed the white weed on here before, and that episode didn't get shut down.
I've smoked weed with Tommy Chung before.
You shot up heroin while you were on the show. They did that one go?
This is how he lies. Where he says he never lies. This was ding, 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 ring the bell. That was a lie.
Oh, so you don't remember that? You don't remember the heroin episode? Okay, but I'm a liar. Okay, no.
Why would I? Why would I remember it? If you do it, I think you kind of go off into non-remembering land or whatever they call it. But I'm afraid of needles. I'm definitely afraid of needles. I don't even let a doctor give me a needle for anything.
Foul Mouth Teacher says I guess he's talking about chewing tobacco.
What is it?
I'm trying to pull it up.
I used it for a long time. Went to a country school. Country school? what's the
Like a
country
redneck school.
Oh, okay.
With the
That's like
school
they-
mom.
Years. Wow. Well, they didn't encourage it for kids playing baseball. I mean, I think if the coach would have found out, we would have took a beating. So yeah, this we are at a point where grown adults are for weeks and weeks now are arguing over why one times one equals one, and it's like it's driving me insane. It's like the whole world is going fucking crazy. My wife was telling me last night that all her friends think Donald Trump is the only one who loves America. The only one who loves America.
Out of over 300 million people, he's the only one.
And my point is if you really believe that, then he can't save America. Even if that were true, no, if 340 million minus one hate America and only one guy loves it, what's the fucking point of saving it in the first place?
You may be overstating it because just because they don't love America doesn't mean they hate it. They could just they could have
fair
apathy.
Point. AJ Benza with a fair point here this morning, ladies and
They
gentlemen.
could just have apathy, where they just don't give a shit.
Were these white people in their early 60s?
Not always. No, not in their 60s. They're in their 40s and 50s. They're Christian, but they're not white. A lot of them are brown and black.
Yeah, we're right there as part of the problem, Christian. I mean, if you're willing to buy into religion, I mean, you could believe anything, essentially.
Well, I'm stuck on the fact that
the best
Matt
way to
allows
give
us.
Trump a savior complex and give everyone else the savior complex for Trump.
I'm stuck on the fact that Matt allows his wife to have non-white friends.
Well, I don't know if it's an allow thing or just tolerates. Probably tolerates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have no control. I would not let anybody. I wouldn't if I had my way. I would not let anybody have any friends. Nobody.
But here we are forcing Matt to have friends.
There goes the Facebook model right there.
Yep.
Yeah. Facebook has demonetized me as well. They just figured out that I'm a political candidate. That's their reason. And I'm like, I'm not really, even though I technically am. I'm not. You don't have to worry about me winning.
I think they're trying to cancel us one host at a time. They're already taking out Ron. They're trying to take you out.
To be fair, I've never made a penny on fucking Facebook to begin with, which is why I kind of laughed. But they're not pulling the content down. They're just saying I can't make money off it on there. And I wasn't. I have not made a dime, a penny, a shekel, a peso. What else we got there? Yen. I have not made a yen.
Rubles?
A ruble. I don't know. I might have made a ruble.
Australian dollar?
It was accidental.
Was it right? What's the Iranian coin called? Is that Riyal? R-I?
It's called.
Nobody knows.
Huh?
Nobody knows.
Steven Stone.
The Iranians.
Look at Steven. He's stoned. Look at him.
I am.
They make fun of him. You want some chocolate chip cookies, man?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Hey, Ron, post that picture of the chocolate chip with the cheese on it. Let's see what it does to Steven.
I don't think we're allowed to talk about chocolate chips because it's inappropriate for people under 18.
Well, I was telling GD last night that this whole Facebook, how they have me locked down over that video. I posted that video a week ago, and during the past week, I have talked about it here and there on stage because it's basically a crime against humanity because it's chocolate chip cookies with melted cheese being poured over them, and I've been doing. So I've done like some jokes about it here and there in the past week. And I did one Monday night. I was talking about it on Monday night. Then soon after that, that is when that Facebook ban came through.
So Facebook is listening. Here's what my can we get Alex Jones to talk about it? Facebook is listening through your smartphone to your stand-up, and they're applying that to your use on their platform.
Well, I know when you make a Facebook post and you go to do that on your phone, Facebook opens up your microphone at that
Right.
time, so they can hear everything that's going on in the room, and that's how they collect data and shit like that. And
All that shit, I know that's true. Now we sound like Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, and whoever else, whatever other retard you can come up with.
Oh my God.
But it's true though. It's very true, because if you notice, like on your Facebook, if you start talking about something or start listening to a podcast about something, items will start popping up. And even like on your TikTok, I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Rogan, and they were talking about Centralia in Pennsylvania, the city that just burns all the time because the coal is on fire.
Right. You ever been there?
Yeah, I've been there. And
Yeah.
a day after that, I started getting TikTok videos popping up with Centralia. And I have never discussed it, but it was just discussed on that podcast.
It's true. Actually, I was talking to my wife about gay dudes the other day, and GD kept popping up nonstop on all my social media.
Hey, leave him alone.
See what happens when he's stoned? He starts getting aggressive and like homophobic, all in the same.
So what happens?
And mildly racist too. Mildly racist.
So what happens if Facebook is listening and you know they're listening, so you just decide to do this? Fuck.
Then they show you a lot of porn.
Yes.
Fuckity fuck. Well,
Adam
listen
and
to
Eve.
this.
Adam and Eve. That's what you'll get.
2 weeks ago or so, we were talking about milkmen. In passing, like I think GD and I we were getting nostalgic about the old milkman.
Oh, I think you said milkman. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the one that comes by and fucks your mom while your dad's at work, right?
Huh?
The guy that comes by and fucks your mom when your dad's at work?
Right. That's what we were saying. And then Facebook showed me at least 15 nostalgic pictures of the old milkman in that day. It was like, what the fuck? What are the odds of that?
It's funny because my wife and I was talking about that, about the milkman, and Facebook showed me a bunch of pictures of men who came by to fuck my mom. So
right. Exactly. No, listen. I hope she got enough milk out of the deal. Because listen,
we got milk, we got butter, we got rent, we got furniture, we got.
It's like even like a hook to a girl at $20 a spit on your cock deal. That's where you can buy a lot of milk with that $20. I don't know a lot of milk with inflation and everything, but you probably buy at least 2 gallons, maybe 2.5 gallons. So I'm just hoping your mom got. I mean,
the only thing we didn't get out of it was an education, but we did learn a lesson.
Oh boy!
My dad was a milkman.
There's a story out there now that in Spain, Spain sent 15 school children over AI generated naked images. Wow. They were given a year probation after some students took like pictures of some of the girls they knew and used AI to make fake nude images and shit like that.
I would have been doing the same thing.
But that would still be, I guess it's still technically like what, child porn or something?
If deep fakes were a thing while I was in elementary school, every hot teacher would have been like, I mean, they would be like whatever. I don't know. Name a famous porn star. I don't even know any famous, because if I say a famous porn star, I will date myself like Abe Lincoln here. I mean, the famous porn stars I know are Linda Lovelace, Marilyn Chambers. It was the blonde woman.
I think the only one I know the name of is Tila Tequila, but I'm pretty sure that dates me to like 2001.
What's her name?
Tila Tequila.
Does she have a worm in her?
Several. My favorite is your.
Listen, Carl, take it easy on Steve. Take it easy on Steven. He's like fucking stoned out of his mind. So you gotta go a little soft on him. A little.
That's great. That killed me right there.
See, he's gonna giggle about that the whole show now. Your mom, which I would do the same thing. I'm gonna be smoking this flying monkey after the show, and I'm gonna be giggling about your mom too. So,
oh, that's good stuff, right
where
there.
the fuck were we? I don't know if you caught the 60 seconds in the news, but some guy stumbled in. You got to hear the longer version of it, I guess. But a guy stumbled into a coup in progress that he didn't know was taking place, and now he's the fall guy for the coup. I didn't hear about this in like regular news. Only Alan Edwards would bring me such a ridiculous story about stumbling into a coup that wasn't really like. They forgot to tell him that they canceled the coup, and he went walking into the Capitol building.
Well, one version is that it really wasn't a coup; it was just staged, so for publicity purposes, and that's why the guy didn't know. He wasn't in on it because it wasn't a real coup.
Tell him it was just a gag.
and unless I'm mistaken, he lost his job. He was a general. And the way they stopped the coup, the way they stopped this coup was the president just hired a new general over top of that other general, and that general called off the coup.
Wow.
So I'm saying that's Alan Edwards and the AI guys don't do a good job of covering the news.
Well, not it's 60
they
seconds.
Really don't.
Listen, be fair here. Now you're acting like the guys who fucking judge my shorts and they want a full biography of the Beatles in 60 seconds. You can't do a good newscast. You can maybe
then you
take one story.
Well, it's not hard to do. I think for the Beatles, right? Paul McCartney died.
Like a radio
I'm not
teaser.
talking about, shorts are shorts by definition. When he's doing the news, if he can't do a better job, then he shouldn't do the news.
News in 60 is supposed to be a teaser to keep people waiting for the real news.
AC Penny was shots fired.
A newscast. It's a News in 60 is a short. It's a teaser.
Okay,
here's the top headlines.
But that's a different thing. Because he does the headlines after he does the news things. Then he does the headlines.
The shorts are, 60 seconds is news headlines. That's actually what it's called when it's delivered to me. Just the headlines.
Well, they screwed up. They're screwing up. Where are my sunglasses?
Sunglasses probably going to be a while. I didn't hear from her yesterday. I did not. I still have not gotten a confirmation that 4 was good. I can show you the original email where she said she only wanted to send me one. She's thinking there's one host here, and then I said no, there's 4 hosts, and that's one. And I said, these are the ones we want. So I haven't gotten confirmation on that yet, but it's coming.
Well, she'd probably say, "Well, do that, but we'll give you one pair and you can share."
Yeah. So I
should custody.
Chris Monty, my good friend Chris Monty, who stood me up today, is sick. But he will be at Governor's. What's today? Wednesday? 2 days from now. The Giggle Room at Levittown on Friday night, and then at the Brokerage, the other Governor's place in Nassau County, on Saturday night. He will be headlining.
And that's his actual. And Saturday's his actual birthday.
How do you know that?
He told us last time he was on the show.
You listen to the guest?
That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to listen to the guest.
Fuck, nobody told me.
Yeah, nobody told me
He
either.
did.
What the fuck?
I didn't get the memo.
He said it. He didn't tell us. He said it. It was part of the conversation.
No, nobody told me I'm supposed to
J.G.
listen.
Wentworth with the left-handed fucking news.
Yeah.
Having to listen to people.
Nobody told me I'm supposed to listen to the guests. I barely listen to you idiots.
Well, that's different. You don't really have to listen to us because, matter of fact, it's better that you don't listen to us because then we get to say again what we said the first time.
Look how stoned Steven looks. Pretty good, right?
I don't see any difference between today and any other day.
No. You
okay, here's the thing. I smoke for pain, so I smoke pretty regularly. Whoa, not okay.
See? Look how stoned he is. This is inappropriate. This is inappropriate.
Is it inappropriate for anyone under 18?
Under
And,
64.
He is leaning a lot. I think he's going to fall out his chair eventually. That he is like,
no, my back hurts. I'm an old man. Here, hold
old
on, let me
man,
show
my
you
ass.
chair.
You don't know what old is until you hit Matt's age.
I've had more surgeries than you have dreadlocks.
I don't think so. You're just seeing these dreads, okay? You're not seeing what I got down here, all right?
Oh, my God.
You're not seeing.
That's
you don't
not
get the whole
completely
picture.
true.
You're
I
not getting
subscribe
the
to your
whole picture.
OnlyFans. I've seen the whole picture.
Have you ever had
no.
your have you ever had your dick drilled with a Black & Decker drill?
No. Why do that when you got the wall?
Matt, I'm asking
Hard
Steven because he's talking about his surgeries.
Oh,
you
yeah.
haven't had your dick drilled. So shut the fuck up then. Get off the complaint chain because I have. So.
Matt doesn't have a
All right,
split
that's a show
screen. He
for you,
just
ladies
has like
and
this, like a hose.
Like a.
Yes.
Yes.
That would make a mess.
If they made a film about Matt, it'd be Broke Dick Fountain instead of Brokeback Mountain. It'd be him and his nurse instead of like him and his lover.
See now, this is why
I'd watch
you're
that.
going to be replaced. Andy Imlay is going to take your spot in our wheelchair slot on the program.
We're going to give him your parking space too.
No, I have to say, maybe I don't have to say.
You do, because you said you hadn't said it, so you got to say it now.
Well,
wait a minute, you can't because he's got a kid. We don't. That's why they banned it, because he keeps bringing children into it, and they think it's
problem.
Yeah,
that could definitely be the problem.
No, because that's well, I guess on that episode, I was in the car, right? So you could see them a little bit.
Maybe that's what the problem is.
You were in the room before you were in the car. You left to be in the car, but you were here for most of it.
Yeah, and before that, the kids weren't in it at all. So, but the thing is, they've popped into other episodes too, and there's never been a problem.
Now with Jackie on it, no, I have no idea.
That's terrible. Don't make that connection.
I'm just saying that. I'm just saying that Jackie,
Mr. JD by Ryder over here. He's.
That's why Jackie lives so far away from humanity, not by choice, but by legal mandate. He can't be within a quarter mile of any children. That's why he lives so far
that's not
away.
true. He doesn't live far away from humanity. He lives on the Gold Coast of Long Island, where only rich people live. No, it's not like
I said humanity.
It's
hard
not
with humanity.
There's
no humanity. They're not humane. They're not humanity.
And what he was talking about, I was trying to. The deer do not swim. I mean, he was having a Joe Biden, Donald Trump moment there, talking about deer swimming across the Long Island Sound. I don't know if you know the Long Island Sound, but it's like the fucking Atlantic Ocean. It basically is the Atlantic Ocean.
It's kind of choppy.
Yeah, kind of choppy. You cannot go out and swim across. Deers can't swim across. Even where he is, where it's narrower, it's still about 40 miles of ocean deep water with waves that are like 10, 15 feet swells. You don't see deer are not swimming across that, which was I didn't.
You think they take a ferry?
You can take a ferry, yeah. But
I'm saying, do you think the deer take a ferry?
Yeah.
Get a few bucks. Charge them a few bucks to go across on the ferry.
That's why I came up last night, because we were talking. My grandson's kid, his bike got stolen, and he's not upset about it. And I was like, to me, when I was that age, my bike was my identity. It's like, you know what? It was everything. And I was telling her about the time when I tried to go to Connecticut. I tried to ride my bike to Connecticut, but I didn't have enough money to get on the ferry. So as being like a 12-year-old kid, they were like, no, we're not letting no 12-year-old kid just get on the ferry to Connecticut on his bike. But so that's where it came up, and I started to remember Jackie talking about deer swimming across that water. And if you've ever ridden the ferry is a good way to find out there's no deer swimming across that water. It is the Atlantic Ocean. I don't know. And so, but that's not why we got banned. Well, not banned, but I don't know, censored from children watching. I don't want any children watching. Take your pesky kids and get them out of the room. And if a kid stumbles across this, that's my point too. If a kid stumbled, imagine an 18-year-old kid stumbling across this and finding it interesting. Oh yeah, let's see what this fucking dimension.
There are autistic people out there, so yeah, it could happen.
It's true.
So somebody could stumble onto the show and not figure out how to get off it. How do I close the browser window? That's one thing. But to actually be interested, like, I'd rather go to a Terrence Howard sermon on math.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, they probably would, especially when they have things like showbiz news and the today in history, not today in history. We
don't do that anymore.
Observances.
We should do that.
The observances.
Today in history. Go ahead. Do today in history. Today in history. Know what I mean? Know what I mean?
And as far as observances go, I know today is Global Energy Independence Day, and I know that because
Pussy Day.
Well, that too. Today is like 7
That's the
days.
only one that matters. Listen, if it comes up and pussy is in there, everything else goes away.
You had me at pussy. Yeah. No. Yesterday, my wife sent me an email. I mean, a text that she got from the electric company, letting us know that today was like Global Energy Conservation Day, and they were cutting our our air conditioning was going to be cycled at 50%, which I don't know what that means. I honestly don't know what that means. My air conditioning is going to be cycled at 50%. And so I sent a text back to my wife and I asked her, I said, what does this mean? And instead of her explaining it to me, I called her to ask her. I said, what does this mean? And instead of her explaining it to me, she just repeated what they said in the text. So I still don't know what they mean by they're cycling my air conditioning. I don't know what
they mean either, because if they're only going to send 50% power,
that's a brownout.
And besides that, they can't just do it to one device. It would be to all your devices, and not just your air conditioner.
Unless they still have could we have like one of those smart energy things on the meter? But I thought that was so that they could read my meter without showing up.
1 times 1 is 1. Is it that smart?
I think it's smart enough not to listen to Howard Terrence in the first place, or Terrence Howard in the first place.
I think the smart readers. I think the smart readers are just for so they can connect to your meter without getting out of their car.
Right, that's what I thought it was. But I also saw a connection on my hot water heater that runs to this little box, and I'm thinking. And we, for the longest time, we couldn't figure out why we didn't have hot water like in the middle of the day. We could take showers in the morning and in the evening, but in the middle of the day, we didn't have hot water. And I'm thinking, are they doing fucking something to my, turning down my hot water so instead of the hot water tank always being hot, they just shut it down, let it cool. I don't know. I have no fucking idea now. Now I got to get strangers in my
I would go to your local energy company, ask to see the CEO, ask if they have a roof, and then take them up and have a conversation. It's the best place to have these conversations.
Well, is
fresh and sweet.
Is your hot water tank is it a big tank, or is it like an on-demand hot water heater?
It's like a 30-gallon, not 30. It's about 5 feet tall and about this big around.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense though. Why they would cut the power to that? Because even if you cut the power and you let the water cool down, then you got to use the energy again
to heat it back up. Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying. And to answer
the on-demand thing, I just want to get clear on this. The on-demand thing would be WOD, water on demand, like podcast is portable on demand. Hot water on demand would be WOD.
Yeah, so every time I start my wad up, if I want to get my wad, if I want to get a hot wad, I have to wait for it. I can't just get a hot wad by just turning the switch.
You can't. Yeah, exactly.
Dude,
You
that
can't
sounds
just
awful.
Well, that's what on demand is, though. You just turn the switch, right? So,
Yeah.
Start showering, you start
they
smelling like
fail
sweaty
it.
rod all the time. Ugh.
They failed you on your wad demand. You demanded it. You can demand it, but they don't fulfill the demand.
Well, and the other thing is they told us they're going to do this between 2 and 6 today. And they said for us to plan outside activities. It's going to be 95 degrees outside. What the fuck would I want to be outside?
Do you live in China?
China?
They're controlling your.
You mean the wrestler?
One more reminder: Steven is blown out. He must
No,
have fucking
because
smoked
like
the whole
I
bag
just
today.
it's just kind of mind blowing because like they're just cutting
Steven,
it off.
it's not going to take much to blow your mind today. You're not all there.
You know what? Speaking of China, he does look Chinese right now.
Yeah.
You can't say that. You'll get canceled.
Don't blow your
Japanese.
wad in the morning shower.
You look like the guy from the Vapor song.
Well, turning Japanese is about masturbation. So
yeah.
Not about getting stoned. But you can get stoned before you masturbate, and then you really.
But I said he looks like that, not that he's doing it.
Oh, not
he looks like the guy from the. He looks like the guy from the Vapor song.
I'm not good enough at math to be Asian. Okay.
Yeah. Now our friend Carl, you know our friend Carl. He's from
Which one?
Yeah, Carl. The only
UK Carl.
There's only one Carl. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That Carl. There's only one
UK
Carl.
Carl.
What, you got another Carl?
Oh yeah, Carl.
Carlness. No,
Yeah.
Carlness. Like Dupree and me and Dupree. The Carlness of Carl. He's now transitioning. Transitioning.
Whoa, good for him.
Not a sexual transition, although possibly, but transitioning from comedy to music. He did a music thing. This is his first foray into the music thing. I'm going to share with you right now. It's little. Tales of Mind Dog is what it's called. Let's see. I have to go over there to play it. I can't hit the button.
How could I ignore him? Matt Napa with that sly grin from Long Island. Plays guitar, thinks he's in the mob. He'd regale us with his tales of old school tracks and mobster fables. We'd listen close, he had that charm, never a slob. But I was taken back. He didn't wear no wise guy hat.
He didn't wear no wise guy hat. Anyway, what do you think of Carl's new career as balladeer, a rock balladeer?
Okay,
it was great.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah,
better than I could have done. So
I like his use of his fingers on the guitar.
I'm not sure he was playing the guitar. I'm not even sure he was actually singing that. I think it was all AI, but still, it's the thought that counts, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, send him a link.
Because he didn't do a Tale of Stoned Out Steven. Now that should be the one for tomorrow. Tales of Stoned Out Steven.
Listen, let's bring him on and see if he can perform it live.
Bag and I pretended I was crippled. Yeah.
You know, if my old boss was still alive, she'd be right there with you. She'd be having petitions signed.
Right.
Christ, did a cow shit in here?
Your old boss. Now, have you met the old boss or new boss? Because it's kind of the same as the old boss.
I was the new boss. She got fired and I took her job. Yeah.
So
she was totally convinced I wasn't crippled.
That song raped my ears. Now I have hearing aids. I don't know.
More protection.
That's just the gonorrhea.
Let's just make believe Chris Monty is here and interview him. Does anybody have any questions for Chris Monty?
Yeah, Chris, since you're sick, Are you still going to celebrate your birthday on the 13th? Or are you going to
Yes, I
cancel
am.
it? Okay.
Yeah. Wait, I'm hearing him say. Wait, I that's right. I don't listen to the guests, so I don't know what he's saying.
Do you
He said yes. He said yes, but he's not willing to tell you where it's at because he doesn't allow your kind at his parties.
I
what
was
kind is that?
I was going to ask, do you get residuals when someone plays 3-card Monty?
Oh.
Say it to his face, Bron. Say it to his face, meth cum.
I'm not sure where that term Monty comes from. 3-card Monty. As it was originally a con.
Follow the Queen, wasn't it? Used to be called Follow the Queen.
Follow the Queen, but then people started following Carl around
Monty.
because they knew he would soon be the Queen. I don't know. I just don't know. But yeah, so without Chris here, I have nobody to lie to and say they lost a bet. I was all set to. I was gonna, and I was obviously the ruse was gonna be dependent on you backstabbing sellout motherfuckers lying for me, and I know you wouldn't do that because I couldn't. There's no.
Well, I don't lie. So.
I'm surprised you didn't get an AI picture of him and just have him say it.
I was actually. I had a clip ready of him just saying yes, and that's all. See?
Oh, perfect. See?
Yeah.
Great minds.
But now he's not here, so I can't fool him. Now I wonder, are we attracting new listeners just because I promoted this as a Chris Monty appearance? Is anybody here? Anybody in the audience on the radio side, on YouTube, Facebook, anybody expecting to see Chris Monty? Go to his house.
Don't tell them that he's not going to be here. Just say Chris is running a little late. He'll be here later.
He'll be here much later in September, is what he said.
If it helps, I don't know who Chris Monty is. So.
Yes, you do. You met Chris Monty here.
Maybe
6 weeks ago, 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe. I guess I'll take your word for it.
Just Chris Monty.
He actually, no, he had some shows at Soul Joel's and had people friends in common with you, and you asked them about it. I remember that part clearly. See, I do remember something.
Hey, good job, Matt.
Carl Monty is here.
Oh,
Chinese people!
Ah!
Carl, that's not you singing, but it sounds like you singing, right?
No, it wasn't me. No, it's all AI, obviously. I'm going to make it into a whole song. I'll make it into a 3.5-minute song. Which one do you prefer?
The last one with the acoustic thing. The other one, you know what? They're both good, but I mean, that one definitely. It sounds like a voice converter thing. Like you sang like one line, and it analyzes your voice and models.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So I only found that site a couple of days ago. It's pretty good. You have to make it in 30-second sections, basically. But it's good.
I have a feeling Ron Kane is going to be abusing this, doing something about lemonade stands and whatever.
Supple hands.
Have you? Wow, we got our first supple of the day, first shot for Mary. Mary and Larry will be here tomorrow.
Speaking of that, Carl, that's a very supple shirt. That's a dope shirt.
It's
oh my God, he's a sloth riding a llama
in space with tacos, pizza, and stuff. There's a whole range of these, and they're all amazing. I'm going to get
like dreams like that. That's
I was going to say that's like a Stephen Ortiz bad trip.
Bad trip? What are you talking about? That's a great trip.
That's a great trip. That's mushrooms in a taqueria somewhere in New Mexico.
Totally perfect shirt for a guy who's as stoned out as Stephen appears to be.
Stephen would eat the shirt though until there was only sloth and llama left.
I don't know. I'd probably eat the llama too. I couldn't eat the sloth.
Yeah, Carl, do you are you up to on this Terrence Howard nonsense?
No. I heard a tiny bit about it, but it doesn't really interest me. So,
wow, it doesn't interest you that 1 times 1 is 2?
Yes,
Carl, don't do it. Don't do it, Carl.
Does it bother you that every physicist and mathematician alive and past have been wrong, and Terrence Howard has the key to all of this unlimited knowledge only he knows?
Yeah.
Well, I heard Chinese people have sideways vaginas, so if you put a 2 next to a 1 either side of the horizontal slit, that makes 2, not 1.
Well, the
In
thing with
space.
this whole 1 times 1 is 2, then we should all get a demand to be paid in singles. I want to get paid at ones because then they're 2s.
Yeah.
And then you cash those 2s in for 1s, and then you have 4.
Well,
Buy one, get
the
one free.
question, the real question was he out promoting a movie?
No.
No. Well, then he needs attention.
He's promoting his genius. He wants the
No,
world to
really,
acknowledge
really, Matt. What was he promoting?
his genius.
No,
His
for
knowledge
real.
that only
What was
he
he
can,
promoting?
that only
Come on.
he has. Yeah.
Oh, it's him. I
Special
didn't even realize who it was. It's the guy that got kicked off of Marvel for another black guy to play the same character.
Yeah,
Right,
he was
right.
He's probably angry about this.
He got his job taken by. He got his black job taken by Don Cheadle.
Yep.
Build that wall, keep Cheetos out.
You got
Isn't
to
Don
take him
Cheadle a
by
Brit?
somebody who's not insane.
Could well be.
isn't
They're
it
all Brits, aren't they?
What makes this great is that the like these far right people that are against like actors speaking out and things like that, but they'll get behind somebody like Terrence Howard because it fits their agenda.
Anyone is against people speaking out when they're not on their side, right? Like, stop talking. And then if someone agrees with them, they're like, yes, say more.
I'm
would
fine
say
with people disagreeing with me. That's fine.
Yeah,
'Cause
I would say
everybody does.
definitely on our fringes we have that because I mean, a lot of people
we
are
all
suffering.
want Robert De Niro to try and ruin his legacy by being a dick in public now.
Well, a lot of a lot of white people are suffering right now. That's why they're angry and they want Donald Trump.
Well, as long as you don't take my black job, I can tolerate white people. That's fine.
What is your black job?
My black job is to be married to a white woman.
Wow, that's
that could be
out here upsetting fathers since 1967.
It's a thankless job, and nobody should have to do it.
That's one of the questions that should have been answered at the debate. Like if Biden had his shit together, he could have just said, "So tell us, what is a black job?"
Yeah, that if's doing a lot of work.
The right, the conservative right in America are calling Kamala Harris a DEI hire, as vice president.
Right.
Isn't she the one that likes to keep black people in prisons? Isn't that her record?
Yeah, she's the one that has like the highest arrest records, and yeah.
Well, it's not just black people. She likes to keep people in prison, but that was her job. She was a prosecutor. She was.
Hey, will you leave Kamala Harris alone? Kamala is going to be good for this country, okay?
She was a prosecutor. That's what prosecutors do. If she were a sniper, she'd shoot people.
Right now, Steven is he's so stoned he's fantasizing about sleeping with the Tiger King. What is Joe Blow? What the fuck is his name? Joe?
It's Joe Exotic.
Exotic.
Joe Exotic.
Is that his real last name?
No, he said he was running for president. Didn't he at one point say he was going to run for president?
Yeah.
Is he in prison or is he out now?
He's in prison still.
So he's running for president. He's running for president of the commissary. What?
I don't. Maybe my best friend's mom's in charge of his commissary and his mail and everything, so I could find out.
Read his mail and find out.
We need to let him out so we can go back to turning straight guys gay. That's the best part of the documentary. Mm-hmm. That's gay enough.
He was hoping for a pardon at the end of Trump's administration. I know he was.
Hoping hard for that.
You can ask him in the
He even had a limo waiting outside the jail for like 3 days, waiting for him to be pardoned.
Well, I've never found Joe exotic or interesting because we already had Siegfried and Roy. Okay, after that, it's just going downhill.
Okay, but this is Siegfried and Roy. But if they lived in a trailer park and had access to unlimited supplies of meth. Gay sex.
Well, Roy, I think, changed his name to
Gay
Dinner.
Sex and Tigers.
Snack.
I feel honored that I've never watched it. So
I'm thinking of rewatching it because it's just a phenomenal cast of characters. It's not just everyone that's there is this fucking hive.
It looks like somebody went and casted this whole thing out to build this interesting cast of characters, and it's all real people.
This is the problem with why we have so many. Well, not the only reason, but it's the main reason why we have so much insanity right now. Is this fake reality television that most people believe is real and unscripted? It's totally scripted, and all of this stuff is like it's in the hands of a few really clever writers. Not that the people aren't real, but they exaggerate
stuff like the Kardashians and whatnot, and all those housewives of New Jersey.
That's how we got Donald Trump. That's how we got Donald Trump, because he was a shit businessman, but they made him look competent on The Apprentice through editing. And
you can fire somebody like he did.
No, I mean, I don't. I think you can. All you have to say is just go to Atlantic City if you want to see how competent a businessman Trump is, because that is a shithole.
Hey, I think it's time for the news, isn't it?
It was a shithole before Trump got there, though. To be
well,
totally
yeah,
fair.
I mean, and that's fair, but still, you can't polish a turd. That's what Trump basically tried to do. It's like, I'm going to polish this turd with more turdism.
I'm going to polish this turd. Now there's a song in there. There's a song in there. The turd
polisher. The turd polisher of.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yes,
let's listen to news and take a short.
Fake news.
Tunisia's increasingly authoritarian leader has scheduled the next presidential election for October without stating whether he will seek a second term after 5 tumultuous years leading the North African nation once seen as a model of democracy for the Arab world.
President Kais Saied set October 6th for the election in a decree issued late Tuesday. According to a statement from the presidency, Saied's first term ends on October 23rd. The election will be voters' first chance to assess Saied's tenure amid an economic crisis and a shift toward authoritarianism. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
A plan to stage a coup against Bolivia's president was not what General Tomás Peña Ililo expected when he entered the military headquarters in La Paz on June 26th.
It was a highly anticipated meeting, so he hurried over to find Zúñiga, surrounded by officers asking for their help in defending democracy. Peña Ililo claims he hesitated, but tanks were already moving out of the barracks toward the presidential palace. It's a tragicomedy, said Peña Ililo, who is now a fugitive wanted for his alleged involvement in the coup attempt. Benjamin Wright reported.
I've been set up on this
also announced a significant package of air defense interceptors valued at approximately $2.2 billion for Ukraine.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin informed the besieged ally nation that substantial security assistance was in progress. The funding comes from the Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative, which involves the U.S. securing weaponry and training from partners and companies, instead of using presidential drawdowns from U.S. stockpile. Jim Kender reporting.
The Pentagon announced it will deploy dozens of advanced fighter jets to multiple bases in Japan as part of a modernization plan amid growing tensions with China, North Korea, and Russia.
The Defense Department stated that 36 F-15X Eagles will be stationed at Kadena Air Base in Okinawa Prefecture, replacing 48 F-15CD Eagles as part of a planned divestment and modernization. The Pentagon said the decision was made in close coordination with Japan.
Get to the
Liam
real
White
news.
reporting.
Get to something that matters. Oh, more music.
This is the latest news headlines.
The parent company of Saks Fifth Avenue has signed a deal to buy upscale rival Neiman Marcus Group, which owns Neiman Marcus and Bergdorf Goodman stores, for $2.65 billion, with online giant Amazon holding a minority stake.
The new entity will be called Saks Global, creating a luxury powerhouse at a time when the market has become increasingly fragmented with different players. from online marketplaces selling luxury goods to upscale fashion and accessories brands opening their own stores. Jessica Oakley reporting.
An armed suspect who was allegedly making threats in Yellowstone National Park is dead following a shootout with rangers, the National Park Service reported.
A Yellowstone law enforcement ranger was also injured in the incident, NPS said. The significant law enforcement incident occurred at Canyon Village in the central part of Yellowstone National Park in Wyoming, NPS stated. The injured ranger was being treated at a nearby hospital, NPS said. Kyle Norris reporting.
A 13-year-old girl died last week after being hit by gunfire during a fight in a mall in Linwood, Washington, police said.
Jada Woods Johnson was tragically murdered at the Alderwood Mall, the Linwood Police Department stated. The suspect has been identified as a 16-year-old male from Edmonds, the department said in a statement. He was brought in by his mother and is in custody. He will be booked into jail for murder. Lawrence Keller reporting.
Robert Woodland, a Russia-born U.S. citizen, was convicted of drug-related charges by a Moscow court and sentenced to 12 and a half years in.
Thank you. A kid is going to be in jail for murdering a 13-year-old girl now. That's
American
bad
dream,
enough.
baby.
When you're in prison, murdering 13-year-old girls is like, oh, okay, we're going to have to rape you. I mean, they tell you that when you come through the door. Who would you like to be raped by first? But then your mother turned you in, and your mother brought you
in.
Oh my God, that kid is going to be like, his ass is already this wide now. I mean, the hole in his ass is already.
Maybe he wants that, you know? Maybe he's just closeted gay and he thought, I can't really come out in my community.
You know what?
Kill a kid.
Yeah, he's gonna play it smart, goes in, finds a boo, and sticks by that boo's side. Hopefully that boo's a really big person, and then he'll be safe the rest of the time in prison.
This is really not a funny story in any way, and we shouldn't be making jokes about it, but we are terrible people. But here's what what I would have slapped the cuffs on the mother. The mother brought him into the station. You got a 16-year-old kid shooting up a mall. You're the parent. 16 years old, you should have more control.
Didn't they jail or charge a mother over access to their gun or something for their kids?
Yeah, not in Washington State. Washington is probably too liberal for that, but
I think they did it in Michigan. The woman and the dad, I can't remember their names, but they were sentenced. And the son wanted the parents to testify to demonstrate the amount of to testify to abusing him and say this is why he turned out like this. And they're not just, no, we're not going to testify. We're not going to do that for you. No.
Well, I think they need to crack down on access to guns anyway. With so many different safes available now with quick access for home defense, like a lot of them are a fingerprint or even like they unlock when you get near it with your Apple Watch. Like there's no reason to have a gun just chilling in a drawer anymore.
This is the problem when you smoke as much weed as you did today, is that everything seemed like a simple fix. But how do you enforce that? Do you go knocking on the doors and say,
home insurance?
That's the problem with any type of gun control talk or any type of gun common sense talk is it's a slippery slope because you're immediately stepping on the Second Amendment. Right. So yeah, it's a slippery slope, and how can you enforce it? You really can't. But
Ron, that's inappropriate for children. We have children.
I was almost done. Hold on.
Much better.
For a child, it'd be like this.
Thank you.
Yeah. What
I think we should cut down. I think we should cut down parents' accesses to children. That should take.
I don't know. This gesture. I'm not familiar. Whatever he was.
That's 2 children's penises.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know.
Well, that's how Trump dances. That's how Trump dances. He does stuff to people don't want.
Kids, if you buy a gun,
flossing, right? That's what that is.
Yeah,
I feel like if you buy a gun and there's a background check involved, it should ask if you have children. And
your background check shows Joe Exotic.
But yes, but then social services should come see how your guns are going to be secured before you're allowed to take your gun home. I mean,
so you need 340 million social services workers.
But then though they leave, and then the parents get drunk and leave their gun in the drawer.
I mean, it's nothing. Nothing is going to be bulletproof. No pun intended.
Bulletproof.
But it's I mean, at some point, you have to start accepting common sense. You have to. You have to.
No, it's just frustrating because we
that
keep
wasn't a joke.
it's the same bits that just keep recycling after 5 years, kind of like what Steven says. Then the NRA, because they're just a powerful lobbying group, won't let anything happen. Then these people,
those gun sales just go up and up and up every time something happens. Anyway, but everyone just buys guns.
But then then you hear the whole slippery slope thing. But then everything else around you, like they want to nationalize internet and all this other stuff is being taken away. Eventually, guns will be taken away, and they will be taken away by Republicans. It'll be a conservative thing because you got to create chaos because they currently have no policies. So you need mentally unstable people with guns on the street because then that drives your narrative of things are dangerous and things like
Just
that.
a reminder for people who are chomping at the bit waiting to buy tickets. The date has not been set for the pay-per-view Mike Shavola against Ron Kane battle to end all battles.
Most gun owners are responsible, but then there's a large chunk of gun owners where they're just big babies, they're like, oh my god, it's like if you love your gun so much, then I want to see you fuck it. Show me how much you love your gun.
My grandfather is one of those people who is just fucking dumb with guns. Like you go in his house, he's got a gun next to the front door, he's got a gun in his nightstand, he's got a gun next to his bed, he's got a whole bedroom full of guns. But nothing's locked up, nothing's secured. Like if I had kids in there, they would just be able to walk up and grab a gun. Like it's ridiculous.
All right, now Steven, your browser history is already fucking satanic as hell. Why don't you go on Pornhub right now and see if there's people fucking a gun? There's got to be a video of somebody fucking a gun.
All right, let me check. Hold on.
Well, Legion of Skanks shoved a gun up Jay's ass.
Yeah,
that doesn't count.
Don't
That's
share it
normal
because
thing.
then Jackie will come back on the program.
Oh, yep. Oh wow.
Did you hear the joke about the Jew? With the camera upside down.
Wait. Oh, this is racist.
Racist?
What?
No,
Well, I
It's a
googled
black-
exactly what you said, and
Are they
it's-
fucking a gun whilst eating a watermelon?
No. So I clicked on the Pornhub link, and it's just all black people. There's no guns.
To be fair, I take my hat off to Pornhub over. Come on, it's a great one.
I literally googled "woman fucks a gun" and it says women fucking guns for Pornhub.
See,
You click on
algorithm,
it,
it's
and it's
semantic,
just
it's
black
gun,
people having
crime,
sex. All it is.
There's got to be a male
Oh.
porn star named
Nope,
Gun.
I found
some guy with a
oh.
fucking
Moses
top like
Gun.
this.
Moses Gun.
Like,
I
Joey
did find
Gunn,
one.
Johnny
It's
Gun.
it's a handgun. Going right into
It's like everything else. It's just another work to get people excited, like Terrence Howard and Joe Rogan. It's another work because no one. Yeah, there are some people that believe that Terrence Howard shit, but look, everyone is still talking about it, and you're still talking about, oh, he was on Rogan's podcast, and look, we're
Well,
talking about it. Just
Here's the
anything.
thing, though. It's once he hit that Rogan podcast, he became a worldwide sensation. Like, because all of the big names in science were talking about it. All of the big names in news were talking about it. Everybody started talking about it, and we can thank Joe Rogan for
I don't
it.
hear about it until Matt mentions it. I don't hear about it anywhere else in my circle of life.
Well, that's the thing, though. That's the work.
Circle of
because
life. It's a
he
flower
knows-
of life.
He knows that, and that's why people are still talking about it, and it keeps his name relevant to a certain extent in the media.
To me, it's not really about Terrence Howard. It's about how insane we've all become because we all want to have a voice. We all want to be somebody important. This is what's driving him.
Agreed.
And the thing is, on Professor Dave, I left a comment here because Dave said he needs to be humiliated and made a fool of, and because he's being very critical of Eric Weinstein's stupid 3.5 hours it took to debunk this guy, where it could be done in plain language in a minute. But his whole platform is this guy needs to be just called names and humiliated. And I'm like, no. He should not be publicly humiliated. He's mentally ill, and we should have some compassion and try to get this guy some fucking
I
help.
thought the bitch was wide.
Yeah.
But Terrence Howard's last movie came out in April. So when did he show up on Rogan? Like June sometime, May?
Yeah.
So there
No,
he's there.
like 3 weeks ago.
Well, there you
And then
go.
again, and then again
there.
a week ago.
He was there because he's promoting a movie. Then you say, "Oh, I'm going to say all this batshit crazy thing because I'm
Never mentioned the movie once.
Doesn't
Never
need to,
mentioned the
people
movie
just
once in
search
4
and the
hours.
movie comes up, right? People say, "Oh, he's got a
No,
movie."
that's
on,
the point. It doesn't. The
streaming.
movie was shit because it's like rated at like 2 or 3 stars. Like that guy hasn't made a good movie in years, and everyone knows this. So if you're him, how do you get attention? You got to come out with some batshit crazy shit, and he probably does believe it because I mean, what else does he have going on? But if you look at his the way his movie career goes, it's just PR, all of it.
So do you think
I disagree with that.
You think they could take? I'm sorry.
When is the last time anyone has talked about Terrence Howard before this?
I'm tuned into this world though. He's been lecturing at Oxford. He's been giving interviews about this stuff for years. Rogan only found out about it recently, which is why he had him on the show. But it wasn't like he just brought this up for this movie. He's been talking about it for at least 6 years before pre-pandemic. On the red carpet one night,
Fake
he wanted to
virus.
talk about his movie.
He was
laughed. It's still a work.
He was laughed out of. He was laughed out of Oxford. He was laughed out of a whole bunch of places. And then in defense of Eric Weinstein, when he was on the show, he very much wanted to tear down Howard very quick, very, very quick. But Rogan's like, hold on, we're going to do this piece by piece because Weinstein was ready to tear him down. He was.
But he's still trying to placate it and try. Eric Weinstein, you got to know this about both Weinsteins, him and Brett. They're both into this getting rich off of podcast stuff and monetizing their podcast and maximizing fans and views and all that stuff. So he was playing into the Rogan huge fan base. Oh, yeah, we have to humor the conspiracy theorists and not because you can without Rogan's. It was a little bit critical of Rogan for not pushing back on the foundational mathematics that are just ridiculously stupid that any like kindergarten student should be able to negate pretty quickly. But Rogan, he needs the fans too. I mean, as much as you say it, he's addicted to the attention and money that his podcast is generating. So we're not gonna.
Well, my question is, can Marvel go back and digitally remove Terrence Howard's face and put in Don Cheadle's face for Iron Man 1?
You're a cancel culture fuck. Just because he's crazy doesn't give you the right to just put him out of work or replace him.
No, he's already done the work. You're not being put out of work. He's already done the work.
I like crazy people getting big platforms. It's fun. It's fun. You let some other crazy people follow him for a while. We can.
I just think the bigger issue is the fact that the entire world has latched onto it. Half of the world has latched onto it, as in this guy has some mind-blowing new alternate knowledge that we have to learn, and it's scary. It's like watching people fall back into the flat Earth thing.
Well,
but you get it with UFOs. You get it with anything, religion, even. Plenty of people believe.
But at least with UFOs, at least you have even the government going like, hold on, we got something here. But like with what this guy has, with like the Bigfoot guys, there's just nothing to show as evidence. There's just
hey, you lay off of the Bigfoot guys, okay?
Hey, I believe in Bigfoot. I believe in Bigfoot, like in a hopeful way, because like that'd be a cool thing to find.
Put Bigfoot into Pornhub.
I am certain there is Bigfoot on Pornhub. There has to be.
It's not pretty. Don't do it. I've seen it. Don't do it.
But just another reminder as we move along here that Stephen is stoned out of his fucking mind. So
does anyone believe that Rogan, that Netflix live special that he's going to do, doesn't it kind of feel like this is going to be a jump the shark moment for that section of?
I was thinking about this yesterday. I think And I definitely, you can argue with me and tell me I'm just a retard, and
you're just a
retard.
I'm just going to say it.
Go ahead.
think Joe Rogan is on course for a Jenny Jones moment. I think Terrence Howard could be it, and this is why I think he needs to get mental health, professional mental health help soon, because somebody like that, you strip his identity away from him, because he has himself convinced that he is the next Newton or Einstein or
let him fucking jump, man. If it's no, that's let him jump, screaming about 1 times 1.
I don't totally disagree with that. I mean, but I think society frowns upon that stuff. This is how Jenny Jones lost her platform, is because a guy felt like he was outed for being gay or something, and he ended up killing himself. And the public backlash was enough to.
Yeah, but this isn't that. This is someone willingly want to go and promote their stuff that they've been promoting for years. It's not any. It's a wider audience, but
right. Well,
I can't really see any responsibility.
I think Rogan is heading for a Jenny Jones moment, because he's just allowing any kind of fucking people who might end up. He already had a guy on his program who ended up being a serial killer and got arrested like 6 months after he was on Rogan's podcast, and he kind of plays that down. But
interesting piece of trivia knowledge here. My grandmother was proposed to on Sally Jesse Raphael and told the guy no.
Woo!
Wow.
What's Biden sniffing behind you?
Yeah.
Sniffing
Steven's hair.
Probably me or my kids, one of the two.
Your hat.
Now, Ron, you'd asked about if we thought that Rogan's thing on Netflix was going to be like a jump the shark moment. Now, does that? The reason why I'm asking is because
it's a battery operated shark.
There used to be consequences when you jump the shark, and that's why it was called jumping the shark. I think it could be a jump the shark moment, but I don't think there's going to be any consequences for it.
No, I don't mean it that way. I just meant kind of just like in comedy in general, because like Rogan, he kind of walks that niche comedy, and that's essentially what his live special is going to be, because he's doing it in a safe area. He's doing it in San Antonio,
which doing it in his own mothership. That's weird.
No, well, no, because the money is probably better, and Netflix is paying for it. So you need something bigger than the mothership.
And the mothership's already crowded with Kill Tony and with Dr. Phil live, guest appearing there.
And Ian's favorite comedian of all time is doing 2 nights at the mothership on my birthday and the next day, August 30th and 31st. Dave Landau, Ian's favorite comedian of all time. I don't know if you were aware of that.
I was not aware of that, but that's pretty neat, man.
Just ask him. Ask him and see how he responds.
Ian, who's your favorite comedian?
I don't know. I keep waiting for this comedy bubble to burst with all.
What to explain, please, and explain it like Eric Weinstein should have explained 1 × 1 = 1 to Terrence Howard. Explain it to me like I'm that stupid, because
I just feel because of how corporate and niche comedy has become, with the amount of comics doing arenas and these large sponsors, and like Bert doing the Fully Loaded tour, and just where we're this point in time with so much comedy being out there, it just feels like there's all this stuff that's been pushed out there. All these comics kind of making this big leap to arenas and things like that. I just feel like the bottom is ready to come out of all that, and comedy needs like a complete reshuffle at this point, because saying like how how Austin is and like comics going there, but then a lot of the comedy that's coming out of Austin is very pointed. Where are your comics that are just completely thrashing either side as they should be, instead of like lining up and like doing the Rogan work and like kind of walking up to stuff? It's like, dude, we know you're just Rush Limbaugh with tattoos at this point, and you're kind of hanging on.
Man, would you like to grade this thesis?
Great.
Wow, that's great.
Thesis. The thesis. Yeah, I was kind of imagining a whole different thing. Who the fuck knows, man? Probably. I find arena comedy weird anyway, for the most part. Who wants that anyway? It's dumb.
Right.
Comedy
Yeah.
doesn't work
Yeah.
to fucking 80,000 people or however many people are in an arena. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
There's always going to be arena comics, but there are a lot right now. Yeah, but I've
there
seen
are a
some-
lot, and it's.
Let me
it's
just
weird
interrupt
because-
before Stoner Boy wants to take the floor here.
I did see Louis in an arena though, but it was a small indoor arena in the UK.
Right, yes, and this is my thing. Like, we have a lot of really, really good comedians out there who are not doing arenas; they're doing clubs. Sam Morrill, as you know, just released another special. I think it was taped at the Gotham Comedy Club in New York,
Boston. It was done at the Wilbur.
Okay. Because there was clips on it from Gotham, and I was on Twitter last night, and I was thinking that's where it is. But it's for Prime. You have people like him, Joe List, Mark Norman. He even still isn't doing these arenas and stuff. He's doing smaller, intimate stuff, and I think there's a lot of people on that level. Even Louis C.K., who probably could sell out an arena, even with all the controversy and stuff, he's doing smaller venues. I mean, that's
because he wants to. He did Madison Square Garden,
right? Exactly.
But he said he doesn't want to. He wants to do it like once and then not do it for a few years.
Yeah, I don't think the whole world has gone arena
for the most part. When I saw Louis, half the seats were covered over. It was an arena, but it didn't feel like an arena. It was like a large theater, I guess. That's what it felt like.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I personally, I much rather like a 50-60 person club over, a few hundred people at times. Like the response, the intimate back and forth is there versus having to pander to a giant crowd. Like the intimacy is way cooler, and I think that's why a lot of the real comics, I think the comics we can relate to, are still doing the clubs instead. And I agree with Ron. Like, comedy is definitely on this popularity bubble, and it's gonna have to pop at some point. Because it's like in the 6 years I've done it, you've seen it go up and down. Like, comedy's real popular, and then nobody talks about it, and then it becomes
every time
popular
I go
again.
anywhere, there's 10, 20 new comedians in every fucking town I go to. It's like there's just a whole new scene everywhere you go. It's crazy.
Well, it's because everyone feels like they can do it, and then they do it once, and then they're a comedian. Or they'll do it 2 or 3 times, and then now they're a comic, and then now they're,
they'll do it
now
for
they're
20
applying
years
for
and not
everything
get
and all
paid
that.
ever for it, and that is still something I'm just really confused about. Like,
yeah, but you can't get paid from comedy for years unless you get lucky. It's 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Maybe you get a sandwich.
I was talking with my wife about it last night. She was like, "What are they hoping for? Like, is it like the Willie idea of the big break where they're going to make? I mean, what makes the difference where you actually? Because she brought up Matt Rife, and I said he was making $125 as a feature before he went.
Most people just love it and want to get better, and you hope for an opportunity, I guess, whatever that is.
I mean,
just the next rung up, right?
Well, like for myself, for example, like it took me to about 6 years before I started getting paid to do comedy, and
average,
like
probably.
the level that I would love to get at would be where, the venue is paying for me to go. I get a decent paycheck while I'm there, and I get to do that every weekend. Like if I could go every weekend and travel and do a gig and come home, like. That would be the life if I could just do that. The one gig a week that pays, if it's 2 days or whatever, pays a decent amount. I'm cool with that. Like for me, that would be where it becomes a viable living option.
Yeah,
cool with that then.
Well, to me, I mentioned this yesterday. Anything I talk about, I end up being a broken record about. But for me, the way I'm kind of defining base level making it is being able to pay all your bills with what you do. And I had this come up yesterday because a venue that I do a lot of gigs at, it's $1,800 a month of income for me is what it represents. They hired a new events manager, and he is running the show now. Somebody who doesn't like me, who we've had we've locked horns in the past. Apparently, he's mad at something I said on social media, and he canceled all my shows because of that. Because he just took over this venue. So I had to make a phone call and actually say, okay, spread your cheeks. Let me pucker up here. How do we make this right? But it's the idea of that $1,800 a month is important to me as far as income. So the point I'm making is there's a certain dollar. Just doing weekends, if you were at the Matt Rife level of $125 as a feature, where he would before he blew up, that would not pay my bills, and I would never be satisfied with that. And I don't know how long I could do that before reality would say you have
It's
to
a
quit.
small. I don't know what the percentage, but it's a very small percentage of comics that pay all their bills from comedy. It's very like whether it's 1 or 2, 5%, whatever it is. It's the low end.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, that's about the level I'm at. Is like this feature I'm doing in Missouri is I'm making $150 on it,
right?
And the only reason I'm even able to make it work is because I had plane ticket credits. So if I had to come out of pocket for plane ticket, and if I had to buy a hotel and everything, I'd be way in the red. There'd be no making money on it. Period. Anyway,
right. Like driving yourself to Texas with a bag full of dildos for I don't know $1,000 or so.
Hey, I offered to be his altar boy and drive with him, and I'll even do part of the driving.
Oh, I wouldn't want you in the car. God, he made the right decision there.
Yeah,
I'm a great car guest. Thank you very much.
Who needs a fucking stoner, fucking crip, fucking backseat driver?
I would be the regular driver, and I wouldn't be smoking while driving because I'm responsible.
Yeah, if you want to make if you want to try and make comedy money, you got to like just really grind it out every single day, whether it's on stage or writing or fucking contacting people.
You've got to be good at talking to people, and I have real problems I have a weird anxiety about it, and it takes me a long time even to get into like a new area or new people. I'm just weird, but I'm doing better. But yeah, it takes me a while. I'm not good at.
I hear you,
there's a lot of people who're just good at trying to sell themselves up front, and I'm not that.
Well, see, one of the issues I'm running into now is I've decided that I'm not going to be driving more than 30 to 45 minutes for a free gig. Because I'm to the point now where I know I can make money on what I'm doing. I know my time is worth something, and I'm not going to kill myself driving that long for just exposure. And those same people are now they're in this boat of, well, if you're not going to come for a free show, then I'm not going to pay you to come either. I'm like,
right.
Yeah,
well,
like when
okay.
when I produce a show and I book it, like a ticketed event or something like that, that is always the riskiest because you never know how many tickets you're going to sell. So from a producer standpoint, I still got to put out money because I at least give the comics money. So at least for gas and at least for their time. So I figure if you pay,
right?
Yeah, if you can give a comic a decent amount of gas money,
it means the world. It means the world to it. Getting a drink ticket means the world to a comic. Anything, gas money,
yes,
whatever it is, it's just
hand job in the back.
See, and that's the thing. It's like don't get me wrong. I'd like to be able to come home with some money, some usable money for sure. But at the very least, come off some fucking gas money, man. Because driving 2 hours to Indianapolis, fighting the traffic and my safety for nothing more than a picture on Facebook and a good job. And the professionally shot videos are people with fucking iPhones. Like,
I'm in the same boat, man.
And then you go home and you got nothing for it. Like,
I won't go to shitholes for free, and I won't go exactly the same. I'm not going out of my way to do something that there's no benefit at all.
Well, like Don't Tell is the perfect example of like what Steven is talking about, because Don't Tell
as a pussy.
They produce shows and they give the producer like $200 and then they pay each comic $20, and you're sold on this, and then they get to keep your material, the set, because they
go fuck yourself.
Because they film it, then at that point they can put it on their Instagram or something like that eventually, and that draws eyes to them. But they're essentially just riding the comics' coattails or back for that. And there is a growing number of comics are like, why the fuck are we doing this? It's like $20 in our pocket, and we're being sold on, you're going to get exposure.
I was going to say the same, actually. There's a bunch of shows that I used to like doing, but I found out one guy runs all these shows, gets paid, and probably gets paid well, and gives the comics fuck all. Maybe a drink, I think, but it's like when you figure out how much money he's making, I don't
You
know
can
why
at least
people
spit
even
on
do
your
it.
cock.
Yeah, like I'll do a local show for free, you know, if it's local and it's maybe I'm gonna get a free drink or something out of it, sure.
You
But
need to work stuff out, right? I go up the road to do it. There's a couple of nights here that I go up and just
Yeah.
do a few minutes and
like
Just a
my
brief
local
programming note,
club, I can show up not on the list and they'll bump somebody and put me on. I can go there anytime I want and perform for free. But don't ask me to drive 2 hours for nothing. Like that's bullshit. And then
just
get
for the
mad at
people
me
with
because I won't do it.
scorecards at home, I just want to, because it's important to keep people, make sure this scorecard is accurate after the game. It seems that the marijuana is slightly wearing off on Steven. He needs to refresh his stoner head.
Yeah, you should get high as fuck, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need to bounce. I need to bounce. I'm gonna need to go and get some beer.
All
There's
right,
a game on
bounce.
tonight, so I'm gonna pre-drink.
All right, bounce. Get your
What
bouncy
about
bounce.
Chinese?
All right, now Steven's feeling my spot and hit that spot. Now, we've already mentioned Dave Landau one more time. We don't Carl mentioned him.
I don't even know who Dave Landau is.
Martin
you
Landau's
should.
son.
You should. He's Ian's favorite comic in the whole world, and he's from Michigan. No one knows Dave Landau. Blaze TV. What's the name? Normal World is the name of his show. Dave, we're not allowed to mention Dave Landau anymore on the program because Ian will get really pissed off. It's like, imagine a Dave Landau AI. What that would do to Ian? It would put him in fits. But coming back to what we were just talking about, my wife and I was discussing how comics go sometimes 20 years without making any fucking money. And she's, how do they do it? Why do they do it? And it's like, I don't know. If in music, if it lasted more than 3 months, I honestly believe I would have quit. Like 3 months into it, if I were.
I think some of them just fall in like musicians. Like you have guys that work a day job and maybe they do it and they have some skills, but then you have other comics that maybe they're making a little bit of money, but then they just fall into that crack. Is like that is their job, and you're working and you have to perform to make any type of money to get for your bills and shit. And that is a terrible existence too, because now you're essentially, you have to tell jokes to stay alive in some manner.
Right. Yeah, so it's a tough thing, and there's no explaining it to somebody like my wife who has no experience with it. Like how much you have to love it to keep doing it. I mean, that's the bottom line. You really got it.
I love it or be addicted to it. I love it or an addiction. One of the two.
That or you bought into your own delusion about that you belong on
See, for me, it's an addiction, and it's something I love doing. And I got put in a weird, blessed situation where I can't work anymore. My wife was like, "Hey, you have a dream, chase it. I'll pay the bills." And I got put in the lucky situation. I have people that go up to me all the time. They're like, "How do you do this so often?" And I'm like, "I do it full time." "Oh, how do you do that?" "I want to do it full time." I'm like, "Can't. You need to work."
Surgeries on your back. Get surgeries on your back.
I was like, "I'll make you a deal. I'll take your working legs, work your day job, and do comedy on the side. You can do my job and see how it works."
Yeah, and that's where people get confused. They're like, "Oh, you if I do this full time, I'll make money, or I can make money doing it." It's like, no, you. Good luck. Good luck if you can.
I mean, and so far I've been making money doing this since November of last year. I'm coming up on 1 year of getting paid to do comedy. The best month I've had, I made like $375. That's the best month I had.
If there are any IRS people listen to, what he means by paid is haktui. That's what he means. For the
Yes.
IRS people.
Yes.
Okay, just in case.
I do have some showbiz stuff.
That's good.
Ooh.
I was gonna ask you if you had show business, and you're just impatient. You just got to go volunteer in it. I was gonna. All right, but let's
Whip
do
it out.
Yeah, well, let's whip it out. Let's whip out some showbiz, and it better not. There better be no references to Matt Napo, nepotism, lemonade stands, or any of that kind of stuff.
Supple hands.
There it goes. There you go, Ron. It's done. You might as well cancel it.
And now, bringing you the latest in entertainment news from Hollywood, New York, and East Bumfuck, Montana. Here's our chief entertainment correspondent, Ron Kane. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showbiz. Showbiz.
Showbiz.
Look how dark I get.
I'm sorry, I had to put on my lingerie to continue this segment.
Wow. All right.
You're going to give Mike a weird boner.
Yeah, I like to please the audience, please them with all I can. And to get showbiz started, we have to say no to nepotism.
Matt Napo, with his supple hands, is running for office. His unwanted advances on a copier machine left to Staples with no choice but to ban people with supple hands from the store, after founding the 42 Finger Institute and a total disregard for human life. Matt Napo used his moist and supple hands to wrap around juicy news in his community. Rarely drunk, but usually on mescaline, Matt spends quality time with big brothers and big sisters, teaching them how to bully people without those moist and supple hands. Matt will fight for your community. His growth initiation of starting bar fights to get neighbors talking. After choking out several patrons, Matt was heard saying, "If you can fight with one eye, I guess I'll take the other." So ask yourself, do you want someone with supple hands making you a sandwich? Do you want to be in a bar fight? Or do what's right and say no to Matt? Say no to nepotism.
There was something very, gay about the way he says, do you want someone with supple hands? I don't know. Maybe
Do you want somebody with supple hands making you a sandwich, man?
Yeah. No,
oh my God, Shrek is doing the Marvel movie.
So I know you're, I know you're all excited. There's going to be a Shrek 5, apparently.
I'm not excited.
And Shrek 5 is coming 2026. Eddie Murphy announced this during the whole Axel F promo tour, and so Mike Myers and Cameron Diaz are all back talking while computer animations do the work.
Yeah,
Shrek has a 4-pack, not a 6-pack, a 4-pack.
Oh no, that last package counts as 2. It's right there on the bottom. You see it?
Shrek has like an OnlyFans page.
Oh, he drank the first 2. There's only 4 left.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, and Shrek is going to be working as a drag queen. That's why he's built up like that.
I just want to say he looks a little like me, except the nose is too wide.
Yeah, maybe.
Matt, this is what you look like in the 20s. Good thing everything was black and white.
I'm just talking about the face, not the body.
I thought you were talking about the ear things.
Well, those too. But the nose is disproportionate, I think. So.
Yeah, so if you're excited, keep a lookout for that. Shrek 5, The Supple Hands Adventures comes out in 2000.
No, if you're excited, check yourself in the room next to Terrence Howard. That's what.
Okay. Don't be a jerk. I'm excited about it.
Well, you're stoned out of your fucking mind. What else?
Well, I'm not going to be excited until I see if it's a good movie or not.
Yeah, my comedy sounds like this a lot,
Yeah. So this is Sam Morril. He has a new special out called "You've Changed," and it is on Prime Video.
Prime.
Yeah,
meaning like Prime.
Video's
I'm gonna get Prime. I'm gonna get Prime to get fucked on the monetary end.
Prime is turning all the comedians gay.
Turning them all poor.
Turning them all poor and gay.
Yeah.
So he taped this special at the Wilbur Theater in Boston, which he sold out 9 times last year. So
wow.
Yeah. So Sam's a funny comic. If you've never seen his material, he is a fucking killer, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
He sold it out 9 times. It sounds like he joined the Illuminati.
Voices of the Stoned.
Yep. Here we go. This is Alex Baldwin. His trial has I think started, or jurors in Santa Fe.
His jury selection.
Yeah.
So wait, the eyeglasses there are like his Casey Anthony wearing like a homey dress to make herself look like kind of, I don't know, geeky or something. He put on the eyeglasses to impress the jury. That's his.
No, that's his Clark Kent. That's his Clark Kent outfit.
Yeah,
because his alter ego is Murder Man.
Yeah. So his wife and new baby are with him as well, and they're saying that's for like sympathy.
Now, which one is that? Which is that? His wife or his new baby next to him?
Yeah,
that's Michael Avenatti.
Legitimately, can he isn't this just an unfortunate accident? Like, I don't understand how he's getting in trouble
charged with manslaughter.
Well, he's charged with involuntary manslaughter.
Oh, right.
But there was a fucking
I didn't volunteer
accident
for this manslaughter.
Yeah, so what will probably happen? He'll probably have to do like probation or some shit like that, because it is, like Steven said, they've already said it's a workplace accident. What happened? And I don't think he shot her on purpose, obviously, but yeah, it's just a fucking bad accident. That's what it is.
Right.
Well, and like, wouldn't this be precedent too? Because like, fucking Bruce Lee's son was shot on the set of Crow, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that guy didn't get in trouble, did he?
I think he did. Not like, he didn't do jail time, but I think there are some negligence and some, fines and whatever, probation or whatever. But you have to find him guilty first. And I don't see how a jury would find him guilty. He's not the prop guy. He didn't load the gun with a real.
Well, the prop lady, she's been charged, and I think she is now in jail.
Yeah, I think she got 3 years. I can't remember now.
Yeah. So she is doing her time. So I guess then, however, they're going to charge him with the involuntary manslaughter. So yeah, it's an odd case. It's I don't know.
Before we move on from this story, because Billy Baldwin is on Twitter a lot, and he's a liberal guy. But you have another Daniel Baldwin. One of the other Baldwins is like a hardcore conservative Trump guy.
I think it's Stephen.
Yeah. So they have, this family is crazy. The mother ran for office. I think she actually won. She was a congressperson for a while. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s. But somebody replying to Billy Baldwin on this stuff said, at least my family doesn't beat women and have incest and all. And I'm like, where are these allegations coming from? I never heard any allegations about. I've heard he had a temper problem, anger management problem. Actually, I have a friend who is very close with Alec Baldwin, and he does this radio show periodically. But I never heard any of those allegations. I just heard, that he's had a temper problem. Do you guys have any clue what this person on Twitter is talking about the Baldwins having all this like rape and incest and all this kind of stuff in there?
Now, Alec has definitely had his run-ins with, the paparazzi and things like that in the past. And the whole shit with his daughter when he's like, "You're a rude."
What's the shit with his daughter?
Yeah.
He called her. What did he call like a fat pig on the phone or something?
Well, yeah, I was saying he called her a ruthless little pig.
That's it. Yeah, little pig.
Or you are a thoughtless little pig or rude pig.
Ooh.
Well, people have that impression of him, so the jury might be just like not like him just to begin with. So
yeah, and he's done a lot of things since there to try and repair that.
I was just curious where those allegations of incest came from, because that's the first time I've ever heard anything about that. And I get people can say whatever they want on social media with no fucking accountability whatsoever.
I think they did it from. I think he did. Because he was known to talk about his sweaty balls. So I think that's where it came from.
Yeah. They're gonna do that
Right,
bit in the middle of the trial.
Yeah, we can move.
Yes.
All
Oh,
right.
Shabuzi?
Yep, this is Shabuzi, and
Okay, that's what he looks like. All right.
he currently has the #1 song on the Billboard 100. So Tipsy has finally hit #1, and country people in Nashville are probably upset because they're like, another black person making country music. We are so angry.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they get. I don't think they get angry when black people. I don't think they get angry with black people making country music. I think they get angry when black people make money from making country music, and when they top the charts. I think that's what pisses them off.
You know what? It's fair game. We have Eminem making money on rap music. That's fair game.
We have?
Yeah, white people.
But push the talk.
Well, here's a trivia question. It's actually, I think, fairly easy. Who is the first black woman to write a country hit?
Charlie Pride.
Beyonce.
Black woman.
Black woman.
Yeah, Charlie Pride.
In the past
Beyonce.
year.
It's in the last name, Pride. Come on.
No, it's Tracy Chapman. Tracy
Oh.
Chapman. Because
my next guess is gonna be Darius Rucker.
Because what's that guy, Luke Combs or whatever,
Luke
covered
Bryan. Luke Combs, yeah.
Yeah, covered Fast
Yeah.
Car, and so that scored
That's a
her
good song.
a #1 country song.
She's not the first black woman to ever write a country song, though.
No, she is the first one to get #1 and has that
number
credit.
one, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, not like and it only took until 2024 for it to happen.
Big
And-
Mama Thornton was writing them in the 1940s and the early 50s. So
Yeah, but Tracy is the first woman to really get credit, I guess, finally get credit after all these years and having a #1 in country. So country
Ain't
needs
nothing
some
but a hound
diversity.
I've been boozy since I left. I ain't changing for a check. Tell my mom I won't forget. Woke up drunk at 10 a.m. Gonna do this shit again. Tell your girl to bring a friend. There you go.
Yeah, it's a catchy song. It's a great song. You got to give it to the guy.
I haven't heard it yet, but I should probably look it up.
You just heard it.
I haven't heard it, and I'm not going to.
You would like
just
it,
heard
Steven. You know, I like how GD is like, I'm going to be a comic, but you know what? I'm going to ignore everything that's relevant right now. That makes
Exactly.
sense.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I've said that 100 times. You have to have some cultural awareness, and I'm a guy who is culturally unhip, which is why I could never do that. I don't know anything about pop culture, but I think if you're going to make commentary in comedy, you have to know what's going on in the world.
If
You know, as much as I pick on GD, like especially for your age, GD, you do a pretty good job of staying relevant, because I've seen comics like GD older and they can't get out of that, and they're like making references deep in like back to the 70s to audiences in 2024, and a lot of them are like, what are you fucking talking about?
I saw a young comedian. It was William Montgomery making a joke from the 70s about I forget what it was, like a television commercial in the 70s. It's like nobody your age even gets that fucking reference, dude. Like, wait, why? And I think he probably was stealing somebody else's joke because he was out of material for his 1 minute stuff. But yeah.
So this is Cypress Hill when they were on The Simpsons 28 years ago. And Cypress Hill is going to finally complete this joke, and they're going to perform with an orchestra.
Oh my God. What?
Yes, that is happening. Let me pull up my notes here. Yeah, it was back in 1996 when that originally happened, when they were doing the Lollapalooza episode and Cypress Hill played. But they're doing a one-night only performance in London, and it's based around their acclaimed Black Sunday album. So it sold 3 million copies in the U.S. and spent a whole year on the U.K. charts. So that is happening.
Will Homer be performing with them?
What's that?
Will Homer be performing with them?
You never know. You never know.
Homer would be the human beatbox.
Now, Metallica did this sort of thing, and it was amazing. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Queen's done it, right?
And we'll finally get the orchestra version of "Insane in the Membrane," which everybody was waiting for.
Insane in the brain.
All right.
Homosexuals are bad.
Me.
So, sticking to music right now, I know a lot of the people watching this right now, they're like, I know who this is. This is Blackpink. That's right. The K-pop megastar Jennie of Blackpink. She issued an apology because there was a video of her vaping indoors, people.
Oh my God, no.
Fucking monster.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say, if she was jerking off the guy next to her, that could be, because this is a thing with people who vape indoors. They like to jerk off the guy sitting next to them.
So she has issued an apology, and she also she says she loves vaping in maternity wards, especially in the NIC ICUs, because she loves seeing the baby's souls leave their bodies. This is all. I'm just paraphrasing, people.
Just paraphrasing. When
Godzilla
my
ain't got
mom was
nothing
in
on
the
this one.
my mom was in the maternity ward with me. She was smoking and drinking martinis in the maternity ward.
Yeah, but that was like they still prescribed whiskey as medicine back when you were born, so that's fine.
Yeah, listen, your son has an allergic condition to whiskey, so only give him vodka when you're at home.
Yeah. Make sure your dad smokes extra heavy cigars.
Your son has rye allergies, so make sure he only gets potato products.
Yes. So this is kind of seems very music centric today, but this is Josh Homie, however you pronounce his last name, of Queens of the Stone Age. Apparently, he was rushed home for an emergency surgery back in 2022. He had some cancer removed. They're not saying what it is, but he is currently, I guess, now back in the U.S. for emergency surgery. And this popped up because Queens of the Stone Age are set to perform in the Paris catacombs sometime soon. They're doing a concert down there, so that's
what the dead people wanted when they died.
This is how culturally unhip I am. All I know is that one song where they get raped by a deer, a buck. They shoot him, put him in the back of the car, and it's based on the deer tape. People don't know about the deer tape, which predates their hit song about the deer, whatever.
I have no idea about any of that stuff.
Me neither.
Of course not. Because you're black.
They are a pretty good band. If you dig into their catalog, they have some great fucking songs. They're a very good band. And
well, I know who Billy Strings is. I like him.
Yeah, the song you're talking about, Matt, is called "No One Knows," and that song's not bad. But they have a pretty good catalog. They are worth checking out.
They got that song title right on the nose.
No one knows that the song was based on the deer tape. It's a bootleg tape that was going around New York State and then made itself got on the internet in the early days of the internet. Where a guy was driving, he called a 911 call and said, "I need a man with a gun up here." And he said, what's going on? He said, I was driving my Cadillac and I hit a deer and I put him in the back of the car to take him to the hospital, to a vet hospital. And the guy's like, yeah, you taking him home to eat him and whatever. But the deer woke up and was tearing the shit out of the guy's Cadillac. And it was but it's like an hour-long tape of this guy just begging, because the deer, you can hear that the deer is still like kicking his car apart as he's fucking screaming this shit. And that song was based on. Nobody knows the true history of that song until now. Now everybody knows because they listen to me.
If you look up,
they won't hear it because this episode is going to be banned from YouTube, and they'll never hear your story.
Yep.
If you want a good song to start with this band, they have a song called "The Lost Art of Keeping a Secret," which is very good, and there's another song called "Sat by the Ocean," which is a very
Now,
good song.
their first song, is that about child rape?
What the fuck?
I told you not to let those people on this program.
Oh my god.
And today is Hump Day, everybody.
Bukkake.
Right. So I made this picture with AI, and this is what I got.
Can I ask what was the prompt that you gave AI?
I think the prompt was man
I
talking
shouldn't have asked.
on phone, dumping milk on himself or something.
Okay. All right. I was going to say, because if it came out like whatever, I'm not going to say. I should not have asked that question. I set myself up for being banned. Like it could get any worse.
Man is on the phone asking for a money shot to be delivered.
But I'm thinking maybe that program that was deemed inappropriate for people under 18, was that the Bukkake where we just like Bukkake was mentioned way too many
Are you
times.
kidding? People under 18 are the ones that invented that word.
I know. But the algorithm probably picked up on that. I'm just thinking.
No, I think it was the one the day before. The day before was the Bukkake one.
All right.
Yeah, so
So I'll
that's
still be-
showbiz, everybody. Enjoy your hump day. Do some humping or some milking, whatever makes you happy, you know?
Well, I tried
Milk
to
a
say
cow.
good
Milk a
things
cow,
were
but
gonna
wear
happen.
gloves. Don't get avian flu.
Hey, I do the child. Oh wait.
Oh
what
my
is-
god,
what is
Carl,
he-
stop it!
What does that mean? Explain to an old person. like-
Nope, I'm not. Not explaining that one.
Wow. So the weed is totally worn off, hasn't it?
Nope, I'm just not explaining that one.
I don't know what that is, so you're gonna have to explain to both of us.
I know how not to get canceled, and that's one of them. I'm good.
Well, if it were that bad, I don't think YouTube would allow it in the chat. I think they're pretty strict on it. You can't say bad words in it.
He didn't put the bad word, but it's implied.
Implied bad words. All right then. Well, that's a depressing show for you today. Let's get out of here. No, do you want to talk about last night at the doghouse? Was it? Did people come out?
We had 2 audience members last night and a total of 4 comics.
Has the vaping thing, the no smoking indoors, has that had a positive or negative effect? So I mean, have you seen
positive? Yeah, positive for sure. And
because CD pointed out earlier in the week that people don't like change, and people who smoke definitely don't like to be told.
Yeah, but let's be fair; those people are dying off, Matt. So, such as life.
And you can still smoke outside the venue, like right outside the door. There's like 2 ash cans.
And the people that are really like, that adamant, like, I gotta smoke indoors. I mean, this was one of the last bars in the area to go, to make it completely non-smoking. There was a bar across the street. They closed up during COVID. It could have been like all the racist shit they had on the walls too that finally did them in. Yeah. So that place closed down. And I think there's one more bar in York that you can smoke in. And
You know
that's
what? I don't even understand what the issue is, especially in a comedy club. Like my favorite part of performing is getting off stage and going outside, and then talking about the set with everybody outside while everyone's smoking. Like,
do they not have green rooms where you work?
I've never seen a green room in person.
Really?
Wow.
I won't perform anywhere without a green room. Even the York, the doghouse has a green
because
room.
almost everywhere I perform is a VFW or a fucking like dive bar.
See, every VFW I know has something they like a dressing room that we could call a green room. It will just clue you in. Most green rooms are not green. I don't know if you know that.
No, I know, but no, most of them there's a table that all of us comics will sit at or whatever. But no, like this show that's coming up that behind me, is at a VFW. It's just a regular VFW. There's no green room, nothing like
Got
that.
a kitchen. You can go back in the kitchen and you can hang out there. It's got an office. It's got an office. Listen, every VFW has rooms. They have rooms. They have blowjob rooms where you get a hawk tour.
Ooh.
There's a VFW. There's a VFW like 2.5 miles from my house, and someone put on a comedy show there last year, and it was horrible. They got so many complaints from people that went to the show that place has not done comedy yet. And I even approached them a couple months after the incident, and they're like, "Well, we're not sure." And I'm like, "I produced good shows, but." The big issue they had is like these people came out and every comic they brought up was like super filthy, from starting at the host and to the first person. I think the host was the filthiest because you know who the host was, GD?
I was going to say, was that Tony Viagra?
Yes.
Tony Viagra?
Yeah, Tony Viagra.
How are you going to hire somebody named Tony Viagra
has been on this show?
Vulgar thing.
Listen, Tony Viagra is one crazy fucker, dude. But I don't know if he can say like 2 words without fuck. Like I fucking fuck the fuck. But I don't think there's anything funny about it. And
I don't think he's funny. But to be honest, the funniest thing about him was when he first started out. When he first started out. At least when I first saw him, that was at the Comedy Zone in Harrisburg, and he came up and somebody played the theme song "It's Good to Be a Gangster" or something like that, and he took that as his theme song. That became his like walk-up music. But basically, he was just doing Rodney Dangerfield material for the most part. You know, it was just a low-level Rodney Dangerfield. And now he's just a vulgar Rodney Dangerfield type comic.
I didn't even see anything approaching like Rodney Dangerfield. They're even
in the very beginning, he actually was lifting some of Dangerfield's material, just reshaping it a little bit to make it Viagra-ish. But it was bad.
He has like a stalker mentality in that he opened up for Stanhope, and then like it wasn't a thing that Stanhope like asked for him, but the club put him up there, and then he was like stalking Stanhope, like, and then Stanhope told him, if you don't bother me for 2 years, I'll let you come on my podcast. And he basically didn't bother him for 2 years to the day, and then called him, can I be on your podcast? Reminding. And so when I had him on here reluctantly, he assumed that this was now his property, and every day for about a year and a half after he was on the program, he was what he wanted me to talk about on the program today, and plugs for him. Like the show was supposed to be now the Tony Viagra hour or something. So if you like him, go see him.
He's a character. I mean, now, and he does not break character until he's like in his car or something. As a matter of fact, I've even forgotten his real name. Yeah, he's a lawyer in real life, right, Ron? He was a
lawyer. Yeah, I don't think he's still practicing. But I think he's Florida now. I don't want to scapegoat the guy, but I think he represents what's wrong with comedy. If these people who are just not funny at all, don't have anything don't really have a point of view or anything original to say, and they rip off other people's jokes, and they want to hang around and take opportunities away from people who actually. I get it. Everybody wants to do something, but if you don't have any real talent, go home and work on your fucking talent. Work on your skill. Come with something. Does he get? I could see why the VFW said no after that. Like, no, if that's what your idea of comedy is, we want no part of that. Sorry to be so harsh on Tony.
Yeah. Well, hey, what? When I was in Florida and I went to the one night I went to a mic at this one club, and there was I found a Tony Viagra variant This guy got on stage. Yeah. He was an older guy, definitely
Mikey
mid-60s, probably
Cialis.
pushing 70. He had like glasses on and he had his like hair up like this, and he would just get on stage and he had just like the most annoying. It's like, what are these cunts out here? And it was so horrifically bad. And I was just sitting there, I'm laughing because like, oh, this is Tony Viagra's variant from
Tony Viagra South.
Yeah. It's a different timeline of Tony Viagra.
Unfortunately, there's no vaccine for that variant yet. But what's going through my mind at this point is like the producer of that show. Who do I want to get to host? I mean, it's basically seems to me like you're out of options. If you're going for Tony Viagra, you really have no other option. Nobody else will get you.
I can tell you what happened in that. I know exactly what happened. Tony approached the VFW. He's like, I'm a veteran. I was a vet, and I do comedy now. And they probably didn't check a tape or anything like that. And like, oh, this guy's a good guy. He's a veteran. He's older. He'll get it. They book him and he gets in there. And the first thing he says as the host, like, you ever smell rotten cunt? It's like, yeah, that's not.
No, did you fuckers ever fucking smell fucking rotten fucking cunt?
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I always forget how much of a Tony Viagra
aficionado, yeah.
I know it's fucking. I know it's fucking material, fucking inside and fucking out. Okay,
Matt's a Tony Viagra connoisseur.
Official fucking natto. See, he's got the fucking so much that he puts it in the middle of words. Official fucking natto. Viet fucking nam.
He puts fucking in the middle of fucking. He doesn't even say fucking. He goes fucking.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Tony, if you're listening, and I know you are. Please retire. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God.
And don't write to me. Don't write to me telling me what you want me to plug.
Nope, your inbox is already getting hit as you speak right now. It's happening right now.
Yeah. So I'm sorry if you guys are going to have to deal with him, or you have to deal with him on a regular basis. I knew he was like in Pennsylvania, Western Pennsylvania, wherever, but I never.
I'm in bumfuck East Montana, so I don't have to worry about him.
Now he won't talk to me because
lucky you.
Oh yeah, I mean he got pissed at me because I wouldn't put him on shows, and that I took the open mic from him at HMAC and turned it into something, because a few years ago he had that open mic and it lasted like 3 weeks because no one came out to him.
Yeah, no. Yeah, he had that open fucking mic.
Open for fucking mic.
Yeah. Actually, they put that on the marquee outside. Open fucking mic tonight.
Yeah.
There we go.
To fucking night.
Ian with a good idea.
There needs to be a segment. Did I not say goodbye?